However, Natania's journey to success was very challenging. She is also a dedicated mother to her 2 children and profoundly loves music. Natania had always dreamed of becoming a singer, but her responsibilities as a mother and business owner often took priority. Despite her busy schedule, she occasionally hung out in the Times Square nightclub scene. But tragedy struck when Natania and her friends attended a celebrity-studded event filled with athletes, ballers, and bad boy artists such as Diddy and Shine. Natania and Shine were actually friends. They used to go to the studio together to record, but in the midst of festivities, a fight broke out and shots were fired. Natania was caught in the crossfire and struck in the face. Unfortunately, the media gave more sympathy to the celebrities involved and not the actual victims of the incident. Since then, Shine has apologized and stated he did not believe it was his weapon who hit her that night. For the Natania Reuben, that was my own girl. He knew Natania used to go to the studio with her and everything was everything, although we don't know if it was my gun. You know that hit her with the ricochet because it was like full of a gun. And it was a terrible situation, as like I said, she was my friend, so I'm sorry that she had to suffer. Despite the odds, Natania pulled through and survived the traumatic incident, although the man she claims who shot her while in the hospital and on stand was acquitted on all charges.
This song is dedicated to Natania Reuben from her friends who love and support her. The time for support is right now as the trial of Sean Puff Diddy Combs commences. In December of 1999 in Manhattan, 25 years ago at Club New York, Puffy shot me, Puffy shot me in the face. I saw it with my own eyes. We love you, Natania, and are here to support you during this trial. We want justice for you, Natania. We want justice for you, Natania. 25 years later, Natania spoke these beautiful words about how her mother saved her that fateful day. Here are Natania's words made into this song as our gift of love, strength, and support.
I had nothing to do with a shooting in this club, and I feel terrible that people were hurt.
I'm so eternally grateful for my mother that day.
I don't have a publicity
When I was
machine.
on a stretcher,
I don't
I
have
told
$1
you
billion
guys, I
insurance
told you so
on
many
my body,
times I didn't
any
want
part
to
of my
die,
body for
but
that
I
matter. Does that make me any less valuable?
The Manhattan District Attorney says Grammy-winning rapper
didn't wanna
Sean
die,
Puffy
but I
Combs
didn't
was
feel
indicted
the
for possession of 2
fight.
loaded 9mm guns.
I felt like it was just,
Navigator,
I was just
the
going
other
with whatever
from his
was
vehicle
there.
After a shooting at a Midtown
And I
nightclub
told my
2 weeks
mother,
ago. Combs
I
is
looked
not
up at my
charged with
mother and I
shooting, but his
said,
protege,
tell my
Javon
kids I
Barrow,
love them,
also
take
known as
care of my
Shine,
kids.
was.
And my mother
He's
said,
charged
no,
with
you go in there,
attempted
you have
murder.
that surgery, you get better, and you take care of your own kids. My name is Grandma, your name is Mother, you gonna raise your own kids. And I looked up at her and I was too afraid to not go fight. And I was like, yes, Mommy. It was like I was a 12-year-old again. I said, yes, Mommy, and I knew I better not fight. And I thank her for that, because I didn't feel a fight. I felt myself slipping away from the moment I got hit, and I don't know if I tell you enough, Mommy. I love you so much for that, because I promise you, I felt like I was slipping away, and I thank you for that. I felt like I was slipping away, but
I am the woman who he shot in the face, December 27, 1999. I have told everyone ad nauseum since then and never changed what I said. I watched him. I got pow-powed in the face. They all knew he did it. Everybody knew he did it. But he paid off the club bouncer named Sharice.
Sharice Myers claimed that she fell on top of Puffy during the shooting and said that he did not have a gun. But even as her testimony helped exonerate Puffy, it implicated Shine.
I'm telling you that she's lying, and you saying, hey, well, she helping me. But I'm facing 25 years, and you looking at probation. You don't have to hold my hand. You don't have to do nothing, but don't try to hurt me.
Although only Combs' associate Jamal Barrow faces attempted murder charges, this is not Combs' first run-in with the law.
I did not force anybody or tell anybody to say anything that would damage or hurt Sean's case. I just wouldn't do that. That would not be my intent. Right now, my life is positive, and I'm gonna keep it like that.
The latest legal drama involving rapper and music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. A new lawsuit filed by a producer and videographer on Diddy's latest project.
This is the 5th lawsuit against Diddy since November. The first one, filed by his ex, Cassie, was settled.
In this lawsuit with the producer Lil Rod, as a means of threatening him, Puffy said, "That's why I shot up the club back in 1999 and let Shine take the fall for it." Hey, how you doing? So, here today about this latest lawsuit with the P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Puffy, Sean Puffy Combs, whatever you want to call him, lawsuit that has come out involving the producer Lil Rod. So basically his last 2 lawsuits, or last 2 major lawsuits, the one with Cassie, she made mention that Puffy made her carry his guns into nightclubs and wherever they went. And he threatened her to make her feel like she had to do so. And while there were lots of things of importance, that stood out to me, and I'm gonna tell you why. In this lawsuit with the producer Lil Rod, they were both SA'd by him and threatened and physically harmed. But in this lawsuit, he appears to be a very young producer to me. But he said something very specific. As a means of threatening him, Puffy said, "That's why I shot up the club in New York back in 1999 and let Shine take the fall for it." Let me tell you why that's of utmost importance to me. Because I am the woman who he shot in the face in that 1999, December 27, 1999, Club New York shooting. I have told everyone ad nauseum since then, even the surgeon who did the surgery to take the bullet. I got shot in my face with a 9mm hollow point bullet called a cop killer. I literally have told everyone and never changed what I said. I watched him. I got pow-powed in the face. I watched him fire the gun. I've said it all this time. Even the surgeon who did my surgery to take out part of the bullet fragments that was aspirating into my lungs and try to remove as many bullet fragments as possible testified in the criminal trial that while they were putting me under, I was screaming, "Puffy, pew pew me in the face." He testified in the criminal trial. It is in the record. They all knew he did it. Everybody knew he did it. But he paid off the club bouncer named Sharice and all these other people and the club owners with their video to hide the video. That's his MO. I told everybody that. This man almost took my life, has traumatized my life, has caused undue harm, irreparable damage to my life, lied his behind off. I've had all these youngins on the internet harassing me, swearing that I'm making it up that he did it. And look what he did to Lil Rod. He threatened him. "Oh, you don't think I bust my gun? I shot up the club in Club New York and let Shine take the fall for it. I shot them people." Well. It only took 24 whole years.
This song is dedicated to Natania Reuben from her friends who love and support her. The time for support is right now as the trial of Sean Puff Diddy Combs commences. In December of 1999, in Manhattan,
you ain't seen nothing yet.
25
Not only did he pew me in the face, he also set off a course of harassment against me for the past 24 years. I tell you the things I went through, there was a time.
We love you, Natania, and are here to support
2017
you
and
during this
2018,
trial.
where I got 7 flats on my BMW. 7, the same tire, in a 2-year span. 7 on the same tire, and they were all new. Every time
25 years later, Natania spoke these beautiful words about how her mother saved her that fateful
know
day.
why? Because
Here are Natania's words made into this song as our gift of love, strength, and
victimized
support.
by him, and then to successfully sue him and get paid. And he had to pay me out
I'm
of
so
his
eternally
pocket.
grateful
He
for
has
my mother
never
that
gotten
day.
over
When
that.
I was on that stretcher,
Oh,
I've told
baby.
you guys, I've told you so
See
many
this
times I
RICO charge
didn't
that's
want
about
to
to
die,
come?
but I
This
didn't
conspiring
feel a
and
fight.
pew-pewing up the club and
I didn't want
ruining
to die, but I
or
didn't feel a
attempting to ruin my life.
fight. I felt like it was
As
just,
God is my witness,
I was just going
I
with
will
whatever
not
was
stop
there.
until
And I
you
told my mother, I looked up at my
every
mother and I
single
said,
iota
tell my kids I
of
love them,
punishment
take care of my
until
kids.
I
And my
have
mother said,
every
no,
second
you
of
go in there, you have that
recompense that
surgery,
you
you
took.
get better, and you
Every
take care of your
tear
own
that I had to
kids. My
cry
name is
for my
Grandma, your
children
name
had
is
to cry.
Mother, you're gonna raise
I
your
am
own
going to get
kids.
$1 million back from
And
you.
I looked up at her and I was too afraid to not go fight. And I was like,
will not stop
yes, mommy. It was like I was a 12-year-old again. I said, yes, mommy, and I knew I
And for
better
all
not
you
not
people out
fight.
there on the
And I
internet
thank her for
and in
that.
cyberspace
Because I didn't
and
feel a fight.
in
I
the
felt myself
far
slipping away
reaches
from the
of
moment I
my
got
life,
hit.
or
And
the
I don't know if I
perimeters or
tell you
wherever,
enough,
who
mommy.
always like, oh, she just saying
I
that
love
to
you
get some.
so much
Hell,
for
what
that
you got to
because
say
I
now?
promise you, I felt
What
like I
you
was
got
slipping
to say
away, and
now?
I thank you for that. I felt like I was
I had
slipping
some
away, but
youngins on the internet that ain't even old enough, that weren't even alive when it happened, arguing me down, cussing me out, calling me everything but a child of God. Go check Instagram, it's there. Harassing my life. Harassing me. Oh, you lying, he ain't do that to you. You just want clout. You just chasing clout. What is that to chase clout about? How is that clout chase worthy? It doesn't even make sense. Well, I guess it would make sense in this new generation. But you better believe I will have my say. I will have my say. Hashtag having my say. Hashtag the dopest nerd ever. Hashtag Entos.
I saw it with my
Y'all
own
ain't seen
eyes.
or heard nothing yet.
I saw
I've had my
it
say.
with
The best and the rest is yet to come.